What's up, everyone? We are back in the garage and we're going to install some Raptor lights on the F250 today. We did the custom AutoWorks Raptor style lights, which is just this bar with 4 little LED lights that go into the back. And it should be pretty simple. I think we're just going to take off this little air dam here, and then it's going to fit right into these little pockets right here behind the grill. So let's get started. First thing it tells us to do is remove the retaining clips. These little guys, it says there's 13, says it may vary, but we're going to go ahead and get a little stubby flathead, and you're going to dig it underneath the little recess right here and kind of wiggle it up, and it pulls out. So we're going to do that with every single one that's holding this air dam on. I did find on a couple of these, if you use a longer flathead instead of a little stubby one that I was using, it's a lot easier to get into some of these like the deep holes, like the recessed holes that are in the air dam. But once you pull them all off, you should be able to just lift this off, slide it over your hook, and then it needs to come out of the air intake, and then it pulls straight off. There you go. Now we have it off. And we have access to the back side of the grill. Here's the air dam. And we'll move on to the next step. On our list is the top grill screws, these little guys, which is, I was wrong, it's a 10 millimeter to take these off. And we'll take those off and move on to the next step. Next, we need to remove both of these 10 millimeters on the back side of the headlight right here on both sides. So this side and that side. I got pulled out, so it's going to have some clips down here at the bottom. I just kind of pulled on it and it pulled out enough to where you're going to be able to slide in the little aluminum plate back here. Not sure if this is the right way to do it, but it doesn't look like I broke them. They'll just snap back in, and then I have them kind of like sitting out of the hole right now, so you can slide in that light piece. Try and shimmy this thing in there. Go. Like so. Alright, there you go. Let me snap this in, I'll show you what it looks like. Little aluminum tab, it's going to go under here, and whenever you snap it in, it's going to use this little hole right here, and that's what's going to use to secure it to the grill. So make sure you have one tab right here, and the other tab is going to go in on the left hand side. So then you'll have one light right there, one light all the way at the end, one there, and one at the end. Go ahead, push the grill back in, probably from this side, because you need to get these aligned, and you need to make sure you get these aligned. And then once you push it in, you can start tightening up all this stuff, and make sure you have your wire pulled out and it's not hanging down. Once you get all of it kind of pushed back in, It will kind of sit off a little bit from where the holes are, just because you have that wire running behind right here, pushing against the back side of the grill housing right here. But as long as you push it forward, you'll be able to access the holes where you can screw in everything else again. Try and show you. Something like that. So just push it back in, you'll be able to screw it. So one thing that might help you when trying to secure this by yourself is if you put the 10mm back on here, on both sides, it'll kind of secure it in place. That way you're not having to push super hard on here. Also, side note, you're supposed to take off this little yellow whatever on the back of the Ford emblem. I couldn't get to it, but as I was putting it in, it came out. So guess I'll have to try and figure out how to put this back in, but this is what you were supposed to take out that I couldn't find. So just a little side note. So now that we have all these screwed back in, where's the other one? This one, this one, this one. Then we put the little 10mm back onto this on this side. And we did the 8mm right here on this side. So the grill is secure. You can see your lights behind here. Now, we're going to take the wire that we routed behind this little bump through this little gap right here. With this wire, we're going to route it probably, I don't know, through the back side of this, around the air boot, around this, back over here, around here to this box right here, which is our upfitter switches in the cab. Because I think I'm going to do it where it's a switch instead of on a running light. I know that might be a waste of like a switch, but I think the only other thing that I would put on this truck right now for me personally would be like a winch here and then maybe a light bar somewhere in the grill or something. I don't know, but that still leaves me, I think, 4 other upfitter switches if I do those other 2 mods. So I'm not too worried about it, and it'd be nice to be able to turn it on at a flip of a switch instead of having it connected to the running lights. So let me show you how to get this fuse box off. One clip there, one clip there, and I don't even know if you'll be able to see it. I'm going to try and do this. Let's see. See if that works. There we go. So this clip right here has a little push tab where you push that in, and there's going to be another one right there. So you push both of those tabs in at the top, and you can pull this box up as you push those in. So you'll push that one, that one. Let's see if I can do this one here. There you go. And it slides up, slides off. Let's see. There you go. And there's, if I can hold this at the same time. So right here is the taped up pieces of wire for all your upfitter switches. So we'll take that out and we'll wire it up according to the diagram that's on the wires. So I have more electrical tape, so I'm just going to take this whole spool off so we can expose the wires that we have in here. There you go. And then be careful when you get to the point where it's taped to your tag, to the white tag. So you don't want to tear that because it has a little decipher on which wires are for what. So just be cautious when you're unwrapping. And they really tape the crap out of this thing. Cool. Now that I got all that crap off, throw that away. And then here's the little decipher. Cool. Show you what this looks like. So you'll have this little decipher, little legend that will tell you what color is what and what it does. And here's all the wires that you got to go through. So let me figure that out and we'll get back to you. Cool, so I'm going to use aux 1, which according to the chart they give you is the, what does it say over here? The brown green one. So that'll be, make sure this is only brown green one. Green, gray, there you go. This one, brown and green. And that will work, number 1, aux switch on your upfitter switches. And for those of you who don't know how this little tap works, you're going to clamp this onto your brown-green wire, and once it's folded over itself, you're going to have this little hole in the middle, which is going to go into the supplied adapter on the wiring harness if you want to use the upfitter switches. And then this will be your ground, which you can connect to the battery, and then we'll route it through here and connect it to the line coming off the Raptor lights. So I'm going to connect this, then I'll show you what that looks like before I plug it into this, just so you know. So I have wire pliers, which has like the gauges of wires, and then it has the pliers at the end to crimp this down. If you don't have these, you can use normal like needle nose. You just, I guess, proceed with caution. You can do it with normal pliers, it's just probably easier with this. But you'll put the wire in the middle, clip it together, and you'll grab your pliers. And don't do that, obviously. Of course, it's like difficult when I'm trying to show you guys how to do this. Ow, don't do that either. Boom! There we go, finally. I suck at this. Well, you will hear the audible click. Let me show you. There you go. It's clipped together. It's not going anywhere. Now you have this side, which we will plug into this red piece. Let me show you what that looks like. Take the red one with the adapter they supply. It simply slides in. There you go. Push it as far as it'll go. You will need to put electrical tape on this for security and obvious electrical issues. And then you can ground this and then connect this to the Raptor lights. So let me go grab my tape, or actually I have my tape. Let me tape it first and then I'll show you what it looks like. So I got this all electrical taped up. I'm actually going to go ahead and throw all these wires back together and throw electrical tape on those and then tuck them underneath this again, just because that's how it came. Oops, back up. Really? Anyway, I'll do that and show you what that looks like, and then we'll tuck this away, lock this back into the pins, and I'll put my ground on. Got that all situated and looking, I want to say pretty, but secure and somewhat watertight. I don't know. Well, it was already capped from the factory, but this is just insurance, I guess. So let me slide this on now. Figured I'd tape this part for you guys. So we'll tuck these wires back underneath. Remember, now you're gonna have this red wire that's gonna hang out. So make sure we don't catch that. Plug it into your two tabs. And you will hear an audible click when this snaps in. Now we got this red tab, or this red wire hanging out right here. Probably route that back there. And I'm gonna go ahead and take off the black cap on this. I think this will fit. Yep. So let me go grab the socket for that. We'll take that off, ground it, and I'll show you what that looks like. There's a 10. that off, set that there. Ground your cable, probably on the inside like that. Cool, got that tight. Then, let's see. I don't know how I want to do this. Probably gonna fold that over. I'm gonna tape this up real fast and then I'll show you like what I did so it looks pretty. So I didn't have the black wire longer than the red. I just folded it over like bunny ear style, threw some electrical tape in the middle. And then here's where I connected the cable. Here's your 10. I routed the black ground to the black ground on here. I'm gonna run that probably around the back side of the battery box over here. And I'll probably run it through here, maybe up over here and zip tie it right there. I'm not too sure. I thought about zip tying this one to here, but first things first, let's plug this red into this one that comes on the Raptor lights, and we'll make sure the lights work. So we'll take the plug, this plug, plug it in, audible click, we'll leave that there. Let's go turn the truck on, see if this thing works. I don't know if I need my keys. Let's see. Just turn it in accessory. There we go. I'm actually gonna make sure they're not on. So they're not on. And then let's go ahead and turn. So we did aux switch 1. So let's do aux switch 1. I know, I have the keys. Bang! There you go. So now your lights are wired to aux switch 1. So let's go in and tidy all this up, make it look pretty, put this thing back on, and then I'll get you a shot of what it looks like with all the lights on. Threw electrical tape around this. I left the tab out because I didn't really want to squeeze that down because that's how you're going to pop it out. So I left that exposed, taped all this up with this piece of the wire, this piece of the wire. I threw a zip tie right here around the already existing wire to kind of keep that from moving around back here. Ran this down underneath that, zip tied it around this, and then it folds down underneath in here, comes underneath this, back around here, which should just sit right there once we get this on. Then I threw one zip tie around here to hold this guy. So let's throw the air dam back on. Put this back on. Wrap that back down. Make sure your air boot goes underneath. Go. That's good. That's good. 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 Cool. Now we'll take our little poppet, right? So it sits like this, pulled all the way out. You're going to insert this side and then just push this all the way in and it'll snap into place. Cool, we got them all in. They're all pushed in nice. Make sure you get the two, one up here and one up here. And then do note that this one is the only small one with the big lip on it. So that's your air thing. This air dam or whatever it will pop out of the air box, so be careful. But it just snaps back in and then lays down on top of this air dam right here. So Just a little note. There it is with everything on. LEDs, headlights, daytime running light. Turn the aux switch on for these. And then we got the clearance lights on as well. Looks pretty good. I'm happy with the way it turned out. Looks awesome. I'm happy with that. So, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate your time. Hopefully this was informative for you. Let me know if there's anything that I could have done better or anything you wanted to see. As far as that yellow clip goes, it goes behind the Ford emblem, but I couldn't get my hand behind there to put it back in. But the grill's not going anywhere, so it's not a big deal to me right now. If you wanted to, you can try and shove your hand or something behind that and try and like push it in, but I'm not going to worry about it. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.